This is either going to go very right or very wrong. So in the process of spraying stuff with the hives, I didn't harvest necessarily, but I got a big pile of brood, specifically drone brood. So this is the frame in question. Now you can see it's missing a big chunk of it. The idea with using this frame is that the bees obviously fill in this part, but they fill it in with drone brood. This obviously has a plastic foundation with some wax on it to get it going, but you can see this is normal-ish size honeycomb that you'd find in a hive, and you can actually see there's some day-old eggs. There's a couple of day-old eggs. This has been in the freezer for a little while. I took it out yesterday or so, separated the drone brood. I'll actually show you, ignore the dead bodies. So there it is. That's the piece in question. You can see where it came right out of it. There was some loose comb in here that I got rid of because the meaty part is this. Now you can see already, maybe, if you look there, the more drone cells there are, the more the mites will go into the drone cells. I don't know. I'm still in year one of this, all right? This hopefully had a whole bunch of drones, and it does have a whole bunch of drones in it. It's quite frozen now. You kill it, and you can actually see the larvae in there in various stages of growth. Hey, can you get me the tinfoil, please? She loves me so much. I expect this is going to go about as well as you'd expect it's going to go, i.e. terribly and awfully. I don't know. The idea that I've found online is you basically stick the thing in there, ideally into some hot coals, but my coals are kind of iffy, and then you stick it in there and you wait, and it's immediately sizzling, which is again more or less what has been reported will happen. I mean, you got to figure it's, wax too, so it's going to melt a little bit and it's going to sizzle, but this is going to be a new experience for me, for everyone. In the time it took me to get a platter and some tongs, crackling joyously, I feel like I really ought to carefully, ow, it's all gone wrong. Well, okay, it's gonna cook like that. Bee larvae is actually a really popular street food in Cambodia and Laos and such. Literally, they'll just take a slab of honeycomb with larvae in it, slap it in the coals without, wrapping it. Sometimes they'll wrap it in banana leaves. Obviously, I'm making do with badly torn tinfoil at this point. Flavor reported as nutty, juicy, as much protein content as beef. I don't think it's going to taste like beef. A good question I just asked myself is, well, if this is supposed to be an anti-mite treatment thing, aren't the mites going to be in what I'm about to try and eat? And the answer is yes. But the fire and the hot heat hot, the temperature should kill them. I know nothing about what I'm doing here, just so you guys and gals know. I'm winging it. Winging, making it up as I go along. Everything's better with a set of welding gloves. Ask me if I've ever welded anything a day in my life. Answer, no. Also, yes, I am working the camera phone with my nose because gloved hands. So, my neighbors are just kind of wondering because I'm going like this into my phone every, trying to get it to turn on and off and stuff. Definitely crackling and sizzling, which again is reported to be what happens, I guess, at this point. I mean, it's not just the larva sizzling, which apparently, well, it's been described in a not so pleasant way. but also the comb is melting in there too. So Lord knows what that melted wax is doing to anything. I don't actually know. I mean, this is technically like grilled, technically stewed, steamed, boiled in its own wax and stuff. I don't know. Now, of course, I've gotten wax or something on the freaking camera, or maybe it's too close to the fire and part of it melted, but now everything's going to be looking like weird grainy vision of something. If anyone wonders for this upcoming Father's Day, GoPro with Steadicam handle, a la Millennial Farmer kind of thing, so I don't have to record on my very good, very wonderful, but very cellular telephone with wind videography stuff. It's still sizzling, so that's a good thing, I suppose. Time for another flip, I think. Definitely crackling. Definitely sizzling. I've been told when it gets to the point where it sounds like either, again, welding or scrambled eggs, it's good to go. So while we're waiting for things to sizzle appropriately, why not meet the girls that gave us this bounteous feast this evening? Real talk, I haven't actually figured out how or what I'm going to do to name the hives. So I just kind of Googled some Catholic beekeeping patron saints kind of deal, and came up with over there, that is Ambrose. And I split Ambrose a week or so ago by doing a queen excluder 2 brood box split, as described by, I can't even remember his name, so a caption will appear somewhere right here. He's a guy from Southern Ontario who, younger guy that has a lot of really important and cool and helpful videos on his YouTube channel. Check it out, link will be in the description. Anyway, Ambrose is over there. That's the original queen genetics. Actually, I'm just okay now that I am closer to standing where I'm supposed to be standing to describe what's going on. This hive has the queen that was from the Ambrose genetic line. This doesn't make sense, and the actual beekeepers are screaming at me somewhere in the comments section, but basically this is the queen that I got from Steve Neff of Freedom Hill Farms, Walkerton, Indiana. Great guy, very helpful, and has an apiary of his own. He was the one that gave me the original nuke. That is the genetics in that hive. So that's Ambrose. They're quieter than I'd like. When I did the split that I described, this is where the queen went. So theoretically, they have egg-laying power. That being said, they are a lot quieter and have been quieter. And I'm not so sure why. And I'm not going to get into it just yet because it is pretty windy today and I've got something to cook. This one in the background. Okay, real quick. I'm doing this back. Ambrose, where I was standing over there, is now going to be called, that's Augustine. And since I am a sucker for sentimentality and logic, this other one here, that's 4. 4 came to me from a friend in Michigan who was selling his property and had to get rid of the hives. The hives were numbered, so that's what I am calling them. So that one is 4. I don't know if I'm going to rename it. Maybe if I split it, I will, but I don't know. Sizzling like a newborn biscuit. No idea what I'm doing with my life. Gloves. I need gloves. And this is the end that was in. Looks interesting enough, I suppose. That's the end that was in the fire when we were walking around. So we'll see what the deal is in a minute, I guess. It is crackling away joyously, but Lord knows what this is actually going to taste like or look like, or if I'm doing anything right. Or definitely not. While we're waiting for the food to finish cooking, why don't we answer some fan mail questions? Just kidding, I don't have any fan mail. Go me. And I just realized that I sat down in the freaking... Oh, gosh. where my 2.5-year-old decided to spill the sugar water for the hummingbird. You know that feeling when you sit in something you know you shouldn't, and then you stand up and like there's a definite kind of stick to the bottom of your bottom, and then just kind of like that light tearing sound as it peels off the wet paint or wet sugar water residue. Yeah. Hello, you beauties. Hello, you beautiful things. Hi, kids. Beautiful purple martins are back. Purple martins they're a really beautiful bird with a beautiful kind of song, and they're mosquito eaters. And occasionally honeybee eaters as well, but I only really notice them going after the honeybees when bees are swarming, when there's like thousands and thousands flying around. So they keep insect population down, especially the mosquitoes. They're beautiful, and we're very lucky to have them. They're fairly rare, but if you do get a pair or a family, they keep coming back year after year. So we've had them for as long as I've been involved with a family here, i.e. courting the granddaughter of the woman that lives here. So math is hard. Steamy. I'm definitely getting a smells like the way I've been told it should smell from this, i.e. kind of sweet, honey-ish kind of smell, but also kind of nutty. So I don't know. Am I done? Does it look done? You okay? Hey. You okay? Shameless plugging for Millennial Farmer. Ew, drown it! You okay? You okay? I kind of halfway turned it around because on the one hand I felt like that side needed a little bit more cooking, but on the other hand I am still completely ignorant of what I'm supposed to be doing with this. Other than probably not doing what I'm supposed to be doing with this, which is attempting to eat it, but you know, life is full of something. Ew, gross. There's an ant on the plate. Ugh, insects on the serving platter. What kind of cut rate establishment is this? So originally the idea was I was going to get the lady of the house to try and have some of this, but I don't think that's going to happen because she was already kind of giving me the stink eye when I asked for the tinfoil, and I didn't let her go into the garage where I've been doing this. And I feel like she's been judging me from the window over there and just, you know, not said anything, so I may have basically, you know, a big pile of bee larvae all to myself. Just the ridiculousness of this, you know, the ridiculousness of this whole thing. But if this does, you know, go terribly, terribly wrong, and all the internets are lying to me about how tasty and nutty and apparently protein-packed this is, it just goes to the chickens. So, you know, which is how it would, to be honest, usually go to them anyway. I mean, comb and larva and junk frames that I clean out of the hives end up going to our meat birds and to our egg layers. So either way, go and get eaten. It's also getting kind of mushy, which tells me that the things are melting. Now I'm just trying to hock it into the thing. You okay? You okay? That's it. That's the end of that gag. I'm not doing it anymore. She's standing there.
Sus!
She's standing there judging me.
Sus!
She's either TikToking or Snapchatting about me. Either way, I'm being judged. I mean, more so than usual. Doge, you want some? You want some? Well, it's failed one sniff test.
That wasn't on the fire very long. How much money did you waste?
I didn't waste actually any. Well, it's worth several $1,000s probably at this point.
I'm not eating that.
Ah! Oh, I owe myself $1 million.
I just knew that you were gonna try and pull something like that.
I wasn't gonna pull something at all. Yeah, not gonna lie, it's definitely not appetizing looking. And I'm out in the garage because I was chased out by the woman. So, you know. It smells, I don't know. This is either going to be I'm going to hate it or I'm going to love it. It's not unpleasant. And I did put some in my mouth. All right, I'm not making this up. I'm going to do it again just to show you. A couple of larvae there. Okay. I'll tell you what, fighting a little bit of a reflex because I do know what it is. I've never had any insect anything before. It's not unpleasant, to be honest. The smell doesn't set it up for success. I'll just be honest about it. And yeah, if you've never eaten bugs, I would not recommend you start here. I used to work in Burger King a long time ago, and like that old burger smell, like the broiler and the patties and the like steam trays to keep everything warm, that's kind of what I'm getting, which for me isn't pleasant. It smells nutty, tastes nutty as well ish. It's not like anything that I've ever had before. Each of the larvae is there's no way to say this gently, so I'll just say it bursts when you chew on it. But there's no real like bitter, there's no like insect. I don't know what I should be. Again, this is my first ever insect tasting thing. There's no bitterness, there's no bile aftertaste, there's no I don't know. I mean, it's definitely nutty. I'm honestly trying to think about like how I could use that, because I on the one hand don't want to waste it, but on the other hand Mama ain't touching this, and I'm willing to bet money that she ain't gonna let the kids taste it either. Is Mommy upstairs? Oscar, you want to try something? Just kidding, I'm not gonna feed my small child something that I'm not sure about myself. For one, because it's kind of weird for him, and for two, Mama was standing right there and she threatened to beat me to death. So, against my better judgment, I haven't given this up just yet. The bees, right there. I've got some honey, I've got an egg, I've got a blender, and I've got some butter. Apparently you can make this into a nice kind of thing. I don't know. I have a feeling this is going to be a very bold and very brief kind of experiment, but, you know, who knows. Again, I'm not really I'm just doing this just because, what the heck. Scooping these is hilarious. So what I'm doing right now is scooping the larva into a little mini food processor blender thing. And we're going to try it. I'm already going to be honest, most of this is going to end up as chicken feed. The smell is what's killing it for me, and for Mama, to be honest. She has a weak stomach for certain things, and this was setting it off. So under penalty of sleeping on the couch forever and getting, again, beaten to death, I am out in the garage. And yeah, I mean, the best way I can describe it is like for those that know Big Lion and the King days, it definitely smells like a burger that's been in the steam tray for 8 or 12 days and hasn't been cleaned. So I have no idea how this is going to work. So apparently if I take this, plus that, plus a little bit of salt and pepper, plus honey, plus an egg white, it makes a protein supplement substitution patty that's apparently very good on BLTs. I am optimistic. Now that I think about it, that's got the egg white in it, which I had to do two-handed. It's not vegan. I don't know. The internet lied to me. This will be interesting. The whole day is going to be interesting, including, like, you know, the biggest question, am I going to be let back in my own house after this ridiculous experiment? That did not improve the smell, that's for sure. The texture, well, I mean, you can see, is what it is. It's a little bit less, I don't know what the right term is for the smell. It's not as, this is not, whatever, fill in the adjective. It's a little bit less of that smell. It's not unpleasant. Earthy, nutty. I don't know. I'm not good with food, and the lady that is good with food here in the house is about 10,000 miles away. Not actually, but beet butter. Salt, maybe? It's like that scene from Jurassic Park. Everyone was wondering, can we? When they should have been asking, should we? I'm paraphrasing, of course, but I know I'm not doing it right because the health food site that I got this particular iteration from said you'd be able to form these into patties. It's just fascinating. I mean, I don't know. It's just ooh, that was a reflex there. The problem is the, I don't even know the right terms. The bits of the larvae that are more done. I mean, and you can see, there's just, you know, bits and pieces floating around in there. So that was the kind of motion there. Salt helped clarify a few things. Again, bits. I'm not sold on it, but I'm not hating it either, for sure. I keep going back to it to try and figure out how I feel about it. I don't know. It's clearly pleasant enough that I'm going back to it, but I'm picking around the bits. I don't know what, I mean, all the lack of a better term. It's just bits of the larva. I don't know. So basically in here I've got, according to the handy dandy measuring, this is about a cup of bee larva that has been fire roasted in a tinfoil packet, into which I have probably a tablespoon each of butter and honey, an egg white, and salt. It's like a, it's kind of the first feeling that I had when I had like almond butter, or like, you know, something that was supposed to be peanut butter but not peanut butter. It's pleasant enough to have had, but I'm not sure I'm going to keep what I've prepared. And for sure the chickens are going to get the rest of the larva, because if I'm not going to keep this, there's no reason for me to attempt to keep it. I keep going back to it, but like I'm still trying to figure out what exactly it tastes like. It's nutty is the biggest thing. This is more pleasant than the raw larva, for sure. Raw meaning straight roasted, not actually prepared like this. I don't know, I'm kind of on the fence about do I want to keep this or not. But honestly, like the only reason I would not keep it is because the lady of the house would kill me if she had bits of dead bees in the fridge. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still standing here eating it, talking to you folks. If you're still watching this, why have you wasted 10 minutes of your time? Okay. I don't know if there was a point to this video other than this. Terrible, awful, no good, or interesting at the very least. That is basically what I did with the drone brood. About which I'm still not sure if I've done terrible things to myself with the mites. So who knows? There's probably beekeepers screaming at me in the comments because, as you know, 10 of 10 beekeepers always find something to fight about. Would I do this again? Most likely not. For one, because it's just the smell. The smell of the brood comb coming out of the tinfoil is, again, it's not a pleasant memory for me. The Burger King kind of deal. This larva butter thing, it's not unpleasant. It's not a bad aftertaste. It's just different. Very, very different. I'm told bee larvae are high in protein, so I don't know. So yeah, that's how I spent my Sunday evening. Thanks for watching. Why? Why on earth did you do this to yourself? Like, comment, subscribe. That's what the YouTubers say, right? Okay, not quite done yet. Oh, hey, buddy. He's gonna scream, so I apologize if you hear this distress. Anyway, one thing that I did find in my kind of post-op work when I was cleaning out, so as I said, I ended up giving the rest of the larvae to the chickens, but I found that I had badly scorched the bottom of this pile of larvae. Whether that's a cause of a lot of the unpleasant smell, or maybe that's just how it is, I don't know. But if I did it again, who knows? Not that I'm going to do it again, but then again, I don't know. It's just been an interesting kind of afternoon, evening. So thanks again for watching. Hit buttons below. I don't know. I have very little grasp on things. Okay, bye.